Hey there guys, AnaFein here again, aka Heaven Haywire, and so I guess I'm gonna do a rough read of the story that I've been writing and what I have so far, and hopefully I get rid of this writer's block. Should have written when I had all the ideas. Um, but I make horribly awkward faces when I read and when I'm tracking, so I'm gonna let you guys look at my sleeping cat while I read, and I hope that's not a problem, because if it is, oh well. So let's see how I can do this without completely just ruining everything. Come on. Okay, that works. Sleeping cat. Yeah. Alright, let's get it started. Oh, another thing before I start, guys, I wanted to discuss, like, possible names for the story. Patrick Ferguson, who's one of the main characters in the story, suggested that it be called, Hello Robert, which is fantastic name, great name. But I wanted to know what everybody else thought, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to make a Facebook poll. Yeah, so, if you could, leave me a comment and tell me what you think the story should be named, let me know. I've been thinking about some things myself, like, Burial and some really cool names that I probably will mention later on, but I just want to jump right into this right now and do what I do best, and that's read and write. So here we go. This is the unnamed story. Oh, and if I hesitate or something, it's probably because the story is not perfectly edited yet. It's still in a work in progress. So here we go. I hope you guys like it. Warm crimson poured from the open gash in the young woman's forehead as she ran from her pursuer down cobblestone streets. The low thunder in the storm clouds overhead sounded, almost as if the gods themselves were pleased with the chase and entertained by the man's mercilessness. She stumbled, and as she fell, he saw it all play out before him in slow motion. In an instant he was over her, tracing her jawline with his nails he had sharpened to a point, a sadistic smirk playing over his lips. Poor little thing. 'Twas a good chase, but I fear that I must remark on how truly pitiful the end came about. Forcing her over onto her back, he pinned her hands over her head with one hand and began to feed the piano wire up her nose and through her sinuses until it was behind her beautiful green eyes. What a shame, he thought, as he dug the wire from beneath the globe and out through the center of the pupil. "Do it more," one of the voices called to him. "Make the wretch scream," another cackled. Didn't they know they were distracting him from his work? "I can't if you fools keep running off at the mouth," he shouted at the nobodies as they claimed to be called. The woman, already shaking with the terror and adrenaline beneath him, began to sob, tears mixing with blood out of her damaged eye. "Try not to struggle like that, my dear, for it will only make me love you more," he said softly. He proceeded, tracing those jagged nails down the strings of her corseted body. This man had no interest in what was underneath, but instead what was inside. Everyone was so made up outwardly, and it drove him to the very peak of his own madness, insanity, a seductress with a siren's hypnotic call. Loosening the strings and reaching underneath the form-fitting piece of clothing, he used his nails alone to begin ripping into her soft, pale, and porcelain-smooth flesh. Her screams persisted, though she found herself lying completely still. Moreover, she found herself unable to move, as though completely paralyzed. Looking up with her one good eye, she could make out the form of a beautiful woman with long chestnut hair and the most breathtaking features, crouched by her. "Just give in to it. He won't stop until he's satisfied with his work, dear. You're just one of the dozens he's done this to before. A mere statistic in Scotland Yard's reports. I assume, since you have no family, that you'll be buried in the ash pits with the poor." As this new figure spoke, she proceeded to play with the dying girl's hair. "Who are you people?" the young victim managed in her small, mortally scarred voice. "People?" the man spoke. "Dear, it's just you and I here," he cackled. Are you going mad? Oh, how fun! At this point, he had broken through her muscle tissue and began stringing out her intestines like tinsel. Instantly, her good eye focused in on him, and she let out a final blood-curdling scream. "Serena, stop playing with her hair already," one of the hidden nobodies snapped. "This one is his," the other retorted. Serena, however, did not listen to their small voices. What reason would she have to, anyway? They were selfish little bastards who wanted nothing more but to feed off the enjoyment that people like them got from what they did on almost a nightly basis. Softly and slowly she began to sing, to tune them out. "We lay, my love, and die beneath the weeping willow, but now alone I lie and weep beside the tree, singing, oh, willow, waily, by the tree that weeps with me, singing, oh, willow, waily, till my lover returns to me. We lay, my love, and die beneath the weeping willow, but now alone I lie, oh, willow, I die, oh, willow, I die." There came an amused applause from further on down the stone streets, and the slow, respective tap of a walking cane as a third figure emerged from the encroaching fog. Instantly, Serena stood, the commanding presence of the man overtaking her sense of loyalty, and she curtsied out of sheer manner before crouching back down. "Lovely song, dear, though may I recommend next time you two not do this in the middle of where everyone can see you making a bloody mess of the tart? It's much harder to conceal the area with it being so close to the residential." The man was cut off by Serena Gretch's long sigh. "Robert dragged me out here. I don't need to be lectured, not to mention, with everything that goes on down here, no one would dare say anything." "We would, Frank. We would. Both of the nobodies chimed in with their prematurely formed opinion. They were idiots, that much was for certain, and their insufferable cackles continued to meet the thunder, drowning out its sinfully sweet sound. Slamming the foot of the cane onto the stone with one sharp and piercing crack, he growled. His gentle demeanor gave way to his true nature. "Both of you be silent. That insatiable squawking is giving me a migraine." This was a demand, not a request. No one disobeyed this man, for his word was law in the underworld of London. Lord Frank Costello, a top-seated member in the hierarchy of the overworld, as well as a feared name muttered by many a creature both weak and strong. "Yes, sir," one muttered. "As you wish," the other replied. By this point, the victimized woman was completely hollow in all of her upper body. Her entrails were tied tightly around her throat, and she was being strung up over the exposed awning rafters of the docks. Robert smiled a pure, kind, and joyous smile, giving her a slight push, and watched her sway back and forth. "Beautiful, don't you think, my lord?" he questioned, still holding the girl's heart in his hand. "It is indeed. Very artistic, intensely expressive, but Robert, you can't be letting them escape from you like that. Seclude, corner, and mutilate. Those are the few rules I have set for you and the others, and it disappoints me greatly to see them broken. Not to mention, you haven't been reporting how many you kill," Frank scolded, tapping his cane amusedly. "Of course, I cannot say that I am entirely upset between the two of you. You managed to keep her quiet. Enough. Be off to your homes now. The sun will be rising soon, and the mundane will fill the streets." Well, that's all I've got so far. A few things before I go. I'm not a singer. As you heard very clearly, I cannot sing. Cannot. I'd like to know where you guys would like to see the story going, because like I mentioned as the video started, I have severe writer's block. Also, when the story is done, I'm really curious to know if any of you would be interested, especially the people whose characters are in there. Miss Jade Hellequin, Patrick Ferguson, of course, Robert Oldfield, who is our sweet protagonists. I would be interested to know if you people would be interested yourselves in, maybe when it's finished, doing a read-through and reading through as your characters, because of course I can't do all of the voices. I'm also trying to figure out exactly when this would be, because it isn't set in the time of Scotland Yard, and I need some facts from that time, basically, and basically a specific time period, a year, and yeah, so it'd be really cool to see, you know, what you people have to say about this, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really do, and I hope to work with you hand in hand and get this done and make it something great. It'd be pretty amazing, my first really big project, to be working with you guys. And of course, if there's anybody out there watching it right now who would like to have a character based after them, all you have to do is send me a Facebook message, give me a name for your character. If you want it to be your name, that's perfectly fine. But I definitely try to get the characters as close to how I think you would act in the situation that the characters are in, while also keeping it very original, keeping it fresh. I just got a Facebook notification. I think that's it for right now, guys. Please do leave me some comments and help me out here, because it'd be really great to, like I said, get your feedback on a project like this. And I guess that's it. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for putting up with my horrible singing through that little part, because I cannot sing. Hope to talk to you soon. Thanks so much, guys.